Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the Everton Stadium update for the 27th of the 1st, 2024. Now when we got on site this morning it was a nice early Saturday morning and I ran into Mark Thomas while I was there, so big hello to you mate. Really great to actually have a little chat with you and everything so we could talk about everything Everton, about the stadium, about the drones and all that. Really nice experience, hope to see you there again. But yeah, as we go into the stadium today, just want to have a little look over the things and everything. I'm kind of going off on the fly with this one just because there hasn't been much of an update from Everton themselves, so I'm pretty much going on eyeball. So the main thing I've noticed is a lot more now adds onto the barrel truss in regards to the cladding, so you've almost got like a full sheet of it now over the first piece, and as the weeks progress I am expecting a lot more to go on there, so we are going to keep an eye out on that. I'm going to make a shot in the dark on this one and say around April to May we should have the entirety of the east stand covered by the rate of what's going on right now. Now this is all weather permitting and everything like that, just because going over the site itself, especially doing something like that with the crane operating and all stuff like that, is extremely dangerous to operate at high any form of wind speed, so you have to be careful around that. You'll probably notice if ever you're going around site, if the weather's not too favourable, the cranes do get folded up and collapsed in order to prevent them from, you know, tipping or moving unfavourably. Now this is a shot in the dark. Bear in mind I don't have much experience in this sort of thing, so it's basically, I'm just going off logic, common sense. But yeah, as we go over to now to the fan plaza, we can see that there's been a nice little bit of development. There's an interesting cordoned off area. If anyone knows exactly what that is, I would appreciate a bit of info, because I'm a little curious why it's cordoned off the way it is. It's like there are bollards in the way of it. So I'm curious what's going to go on in that one, whether it's going to be a building that's going to get dropped on top or something like that. Who knows? Also, you can I'm not sure if you can see it from here. I can just about see it myself. You can see in the small squares at the very base by the wall, you can see there's a little spruce tree there. Well, I'm not sure whether it's a spruce. It's an evergreen tree, to say the very least. It's just going to be evergreens right across in regards to the fan plaza. They're going to have that little touch of green when it comes to this part of the stadium. It's going to be a nice little piece. It's one of those, you know. But yeah, as we go over right now they are starting the work when we were flying over, and they're slowly starting to work over on the other side now, so they're getting slowly over to the southeast. So we're going to keep an eye on that one for the future. They are actually moving at quite a fairly rapid pace, to tell you the God's honest truth. Looking at it right now, you can actually see them working across the site. They are moving at some speed, getting all this sorted out, so I am excited to see what's going on over the course of the coming weeks. But yeah, as we go over to the south stand right now, there isn't too much in terms of development here. The main thing being there's more glass going on, and while we were flying, we're actually working on the glass. So I did actually make sure to try and keep myself a nice fair way back, and to obviously respect their privacy and try and keep things at a safe distance. But yeah, while we're going over this right now, I just wanted to talk about news that actually came out of the site over the past week. So apparently the electricians aren't too happy with regards to pay. So they are now currently working to their contract hours. So previously they were actually working overtime and everything, and they weren't too happy at the fact that certain people were getting paid more than others. Now this isn't an Everton situation. This is a Land O'Rourke to electrician situation. So this isn't anything to do with the club or anything like that. It's between Land O'Rourke and the electricians. I know I did say the construction firm's name wrong. Apologies on that one. That's the only apology you're going to get in regards to that one. But yeah, over the course of South Stand though, they are actually making great progress. We're going to actually have a look at the top down in a minute, where we can actually see the progress on the roof as well. But in regards to everything going on in this part of it, we can see that they're pretty much just working on turnstiles, the cladding, as well as other little nitty gritty bits, to say the least. But yeah, as we go now looking over at the roof down into the stadium itself, we can actually see that they are making decent progress with that roof, and you can actually see people on there right now. You can see a guy in the orange safety gear. So what's happening right now is they've now got, I believe it's the second or third layer of the cladding on. So they're going to be 2 to 3 more layers on there. And then after that, I do believe they'll have the solar panels on there as well. unless the plans have changed and solar panels are going somewhere else, but I don't expect that to be the case. Thank you very much, Windows, for going off. I'm not sure whether you guys heard that. Apologies if you did. But yeah, I'm not too sure how they're going to go about the solar panels. If they put them on the south side like the render stipulates, then great. If not, I'm curious where they're going to put them, because the back of the site has got the media enclosure. I mean, they could do what they did in the original template, where they had like the car park setting and then they had them on the roof of the car park. But hey, time will tell. I'm curious how they're going to do it, and I'm excited to see how things develop in that regard as well. I'm excited about everything that happens in regards to the stadium. To tell you the truth, I'm looking forward to seeing how they go about everything in the course of the future, because bear in mind, this is going to be the venue for the Euro 2028, and this is also going to be a prime venue when it comes to fight nights in regards with UFC, whether it be the boxing, whether it be music events, anything like that. This is a perfect place for it, and it is going to be one I can look forward to hopefully being a part of, whether it be in a working environment or whether it be going to enjoy some music or going to watch a fight. I'm looking forward to whatever goes on in the future anyway. But yeah, as we look over to the west stand at the moment, there is a little bit of progress when it comes to the stairway here. So you can see there is a couple of more of the raker pieces, or raker beams should we call them. The concrete raker beams are going up slowly but surely. Again, this is all weather permitted sort of stuff, so when there's heavy winds and everything like that, the last thing they want to be doing is moving something that weighs several tons and trying to get that balance in place, because obviously that would be a health and safety nightmare. But as we go across right now, you can also see they've also done the black facade around the entranceway for the west stand as well. So that's another one that's slowly getting ticked off. And as we go across now, there's still areas where they need to get a little bit more of the black dividers and all the facade and everything put into place. But overall, it is coming along rather nicely. You can see more of the windows have gotten installed around by the media gantry and all that, and they are actually working on the cladding around the media gantry itself. You can see right there. But as we pop up to the roof now, we can see the roof itself. I'm not seeing too much of an update here. We can see around close to the edge of the roof is getting work done. So the edge, when I say that, I mean like towards inside the bowl of the stadium. I don't mean the outside edge. But yeah, the inside edge has had its extra layer put on, and it looks like they've extended the second to last layer here on the west stand. I do apologise if these are kinds of, rambling sort of videos. It's one of them. I want to try and keep the video on a more smooth and consistent basis. And one of the worst things I feel like I could do is having moments of silence, because it's not very good when it comes to these videos if there's a quiet patch, because it just feels like there's something that should be input there that isn't getting input. But yeah, as we go over right now, there is decent amount of work going on. I am really happy to see the progress. I mean, as we all know, things right now at the football club aren't in an amazing situation. I mean, we've got the bloody Premier League doing everything they can to try and hinder us and do damage to us, and it is very demoralising. I'm sure that the players and the coaching staff and everyone else in the club is probably feeling the pinch, whilst the Premier League are doing these abhorrent things, and it's very frustrating, especially when you see things on the pitch. I mean, the Luton game, we were missing the likes of Decore, we were missing Andre Gomez, we were missing Seamus Coleman, we were missing quite a few key players in the squad, and it makes it very, very difficult to keep the optimism when it just feels like the team's slowly taking steps backwards. Now, bear in mind, take out the Premier League's 10-point deduction equation, we'd be sitting currently mid-table, and I'd be absolutely delighted. I'd be over the moon. But because of that 10-point deduction, it looks a lot worse than it is. Now, I'm 90% certain we're going to get most, if not all, of those points back, because it's a non-sporting sanction and it's a sporting punishment. So there's just no ifs, ands, or buts around it, because it shouldn't be implemented in the way that they've done it. And hopefully in the future, hopefully at the end of the season or before the end of the season, we're able to get these points back and we can actually have a little bit more breathing space and we can actually recuperate and try and gather ourselves. Because right now, we're not able to buy anyone. We've got, I believe it's Leeds, looking at buying Ben Godfrey off us. And, I mean, even loan options aren't you know, seeming to be things that we can look at. I mean, we were looking at Calvin Phillips, and I think his loan fee was only like 5 million. Now, I mean, you could get League One players for 5 million nowadays, and to think that we didn't even sniff at that because it was a £5 million loan fee, it's very disheartening, to say the least. It is very hard to keep the optimism when we're seeing things like this. But in all honesty, I think it is a good chunk of it is down to the media approach of it. They are doing, I feel like they are loving the idea of actually being able to sort of stamp on a particular team and make them out to be the big bad guy. You know, Everton, they've done this, they've done that. They bought all these players. Yeah, we bought players in like 2016, 17 and 18. Nothing to do with now, well, from like bloody 2019, 2020, when Carlo came in, all the way to now. I mean, in those situations, we barely bought anyone. We've sold off Anthony Gordon, we sold off Richarlison, we're selling off key players. I mean, Iwobi, he was a fairly decent player for us. I know he's quite a controversial one, but he was actually a workhorse who actually did the job for us in some situations. But in all honesty, I've got faith that Everton can pull this one out the hat. We can, you know, focus on the league, get things going. Again, we've got Fulham coming up on Tuesday. Hopefully, we're able to sort something out there. We're able to find a formation or something that works in the way that we can get the best out of Calvert-Lewin. We can get him in the goal-scoring ways again, and hopefully we're able to push ourselves back up the league. But in any case, guys, we are now coming up to the end of the video. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry if this one was a little bit off the grain than what we normally do, where it's a little bit more informative rather than opinionated and emotional. As I said, it's been a very weird week for us this week, but in any case, I hope everyone has a great week, in all honesty. I really do hope you guys have a great week. Take care, peace, and up the fucking toffees.